Kayfabe was a way to show respect to the audience and respect your own business. It was a way to protect it.
But to be the man, you gotta beat the man. And I'm saying, we are the generation that you make the rules, and we will break them. Give the people what they want.
Ladies and gentlemen, heels and faces, smart marks and casual wrestling fans. I am Mr. Richard Moon.
And I'm Kayfabe AJ.
And today we have a special guest.
Kayfabe Focus.
And this is the Kayfabe Ave livecast.
Podcast.
It's the livecast and the podcast.
The livecast, that's a podcast?
That's a podcast, it's a livecast.
It makes sense somewhere. Basically, if
I'm confused.
Alright, so
I'm going to clear it up for you right now. Go ahead, clear it up for me.
if you go down Know Your Road Boulevard, but you make that left, not that right on Know Your Road Boulevard, you hang that left and you go on Kayfabe Ave, that's where we're at.
But if you go past SmackDown Hotel, you've gone way too far. So we're right between Gimmick Street and Kayfabe Ave. Yeah?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Alright, let's go. Today we will talk about the
Bullet Club.
Full life.
So, the Bullet Club, who are they? Who are the leaders? What have they done? Who's the better leader?
We'll figure out today.
We'll definitely figure out today, or at least have high opinions on who we think are the best. But everything begins, and I guess
this is the inception. This is the beginning.
everything begins with Finn Balor, and to those.
Prince
you know,
Devitt. For those who don't know,
his name in New Japan was Prince Devitt.
Yeah, you may see Finn Balor today, and you may not know. You may know the Demon. You may not know Smiley.
But there's probably one person they didn't know.
And you're looking at the real rock and roller, Prince Devitt.
And he was completely different in New Japan. You want to talk about? I think he was the beginning. I mean, he was the beginning of a tween, but I think he was like the rebirth of the tween.
Well, put it like this: Finn Balor, he smiles today because of how much he didn't smile in New Japan.
Yeah.
At this point, he turns on his
He's on tag team partner Taguchi. So they're going after.
So it pretty much starts April 7th at Invasion Attack. He's in a tag team with Taguchi. They were called Apollo 55, and they lost that night to the Time Splitters. After that loss, he turns on Taguchi and Bad Luck Fale.
Yeah, he introduces the underboss Bad Luck Fale. That was me trying to do my. I don't know.
You gotta work on it.
Yeah.
So
you see where I was going though.
I see.
So he debuts Fale as a bouncer, and finally dubs himself as the real rock and roller. And
I'm doing
pretty
my
much
finger point for podcast listeners. I'm just doing the finger point.
Yeah, if you can't hear it, you can't really visualize it, the gun gestures. So that's the start of the Bullet Club, May 3rd. At that up to that point, Finn Balor, Prince Devitt, he was a face, right? He was pretty over with the crowd. This type of attitude he was transitioning. Would you consider it like a Hogan-esque kind of turn? Did people really see that coming from Prince Devitt?
I wouldn't say like Hogan.
No, not Hogan-esque because he was a completely different point of his career. Hogan. It was just I don't think anybody's seen the heel turn like that because Apollo 55 was very much a face tag team. They were a very successful tag team, and one of the reasons why I turned on them because they weren't having success anymore. And also, Prince Devitt was going on having a singles career. I'm pretty sure during this time he had maybe won the junior heavyweight title 2 times or maybe 3 times. But I know during this point he had singles career success. So that was also kind of causing a little tension. And also before the formation of the Bullet Club, him and Taguchi had a match, a friendly competition match, where it was probably a 5-star match. They went crazy, and then them having a tag team match. I think that was the icing on the cake. They didn't win. Turned on them. Boom. Nobody expected. Nobody's seen this, but
So
no. Actually, you know what? I have to take that back because when he was doing his single run, Prince Devitt was starting to show a little more cockiness. You know what I'm saying? Like during his single run, he was starting to show that, like, yeah, I'm by myself and like I got the spotlight now. You know. That's when he first started popping his out with the
nah,
jacket.
this Prince David. Honestly, you go looking back, he was more ripped. He was probably more heavy set than he is now.
Yeah.
At this point in his career, as Finn Balor.
He used his body paint in different ways to reflect different characters such as Venom and Carnage.
Yeah, there was no such thing as the demon Finn Balor. There was no demon Prince Devitt. It was just, you know.
Yeah, it was body paint. He was expressing himself.
Yeah, he was expressing the things he liked, and it pulled off cool. That's one of the things I wish transitioned over. I know WWE is a big corporation, so they probably have all these copyright things they're worrying about. As far as, you know, letting him do like the symbiote paints he used to do before, but Devitt was a completely different person. So after that April 7th situation at Invasion Attack, about a month later, May 3rd, at Wrestling Dondoku, Devitt and Fale defeat Taguchi and Captain New Japan. Yeah, I don't like that name. Is that like Captain America?
I don't really know. Yeah.
In New Japan.
Man.
So later that
He's a joke character anyway.
Yeah, it sounded like a joke.
later the same night, they joined in an attack started by Carl Anderson and Tama Tonga against Tanahashi, and this was the actual date of all original members came together and birthed the Bullet Club. April 7th was the start to get to this point, and you know, May 3rd was definitely the birth of the Bullet Club.
With Carl Anderson and Tama Tonga joined.
This is the underboss bad luck.
So now we have the Bullet Club form. They're, you know, running roughshod over New Japan. New Japan's never experienced anything NWO like or DX like, and this was
using American tactics.
This was the first time. Yeah, they're cursing. They have this attitude. The honor is no longer, you know, upheld during the matches.
After New Japan events, they always do backstage conferences, just like boxing. Like they do like backstage conferences. Like they're like pushing over like people that are on the camera. Like they're like bullying people.
Yeah,
like, never experienced this.
Their promo style, everything was kind of like Attitude Era style, yeah. ECW, early WCW style. Just go in, run over people. You know, have an impact, show your force, and that's pretty much what the Bullet Club was about at that point.
Yep. So,
Bullet Club has a lot of transitional periods. They always looking for new recruits. People come in, they come out. It's a lot of betrayals and a lot of deceit, and you know, a lot of championship wins as well.
But under Balor, they brought in some of the most important members of the Bullet Club of all time.
Which were
first introduced as Nick Buck and Matt Buck.
The Young Bucks.
The Young Bucks. That's what they were first
So
introduced.
The Young Bucks at you know, I don't know about at that time, but up to this date, 2018, they're known as one of the greatest tag teams in pro wrestling, probably the best.
Yeah, they're definitely the best tag team in wrestling today. Period.
By far.
Yeah, by far.
So along with the Bucks,
but back then, they were just the Young Bucks. They're still the Young Bucks now, but they were really the Young Bucks then.
So along with the Bucks, Luke Gallows joins, named Doc Gallows in New Japan.
Formerly known as Festus.
Formerly known as Festus.
Straight Edge Society. Then transition to the Straight Edge Society.
The Straight Edge Society kind of was the jump start for him to start getting his style that he would use in New Japan, as far as the look and a little bit of his attitude. Then him joining TNA and the
Aces and Eights.
The Aces and Eights. Which was like a biker club kind of thing. So go transition through those gimmicks that you finally see the Doc Gallows that we'll get in the Bullet Club in New Japan. So the Bullet Clubs are expanded at this point, and they have a couple of heavy accomplishments as a group. Devitt wins the Super Juniors, beats Kenny Omega in the semifinals, and eventually Alex Shelley to win. The Bucks enter the Super Junior tag tournaments and win. They beat Suzuki Gun for the junior heavyweight titles. Gallows and Anderson win the 2013 World Tag League. They defeat the Killer Elite to win the IWGP Tag titles. And that pretty much was the list of accomplishments throughout that Finn Balor Prince Devitt era.
He also, Prince Devitt also beat Tanahashi to challenge Okada for the. No, he challenged Okada for the championship.
Yes.
Yeah, I said it the wrong way. Yeah, he challenged Okada for the heavyweight championship. He wanted to be the junior heavyweight championship and the heavyweight champion at the same time. He lost, but that was the first time that happened in New Japan. So even though he lost, that's still an accomplishment. 'Cause they don't really do those matches often at all. A junior heavyweight versus. That's why Marty Scurll.
Yeah, they stick to their weight classes, and they really stick to their divisions in New Japan. It's not like WWE where the littlest guy can fight the giant. So
like Rey Mysterio defeats the Big Show.
The Big Show. Yeah.
That's why Marty Scurll versus Okada all in was such a big deal. I mean, it was, junior heavyweight versus heavyweight, but.
So now, like I said, the Bullet Club, they have a lot of transitional periods and a lot of people come and go. And sadly to say, a lot of people go by getting kicked the fuck out.
But they get kicked out. But the reason why they get kicked out is because they hear a little.
Yeah, they hear the H's of the world and the McMahons of the world start. They start calling and at this point,
cashing checks.
Finn Balor decides to accept the contract to the WWE,
become Finn Balor,
and officially become Finn Balor. His last match appearance was at Invasion Attack 2014, April 6th of that year.
Yep.
And who was he fighting that night?
It's former partner
Taguchi.
Yeah.
So now it was loser leaves New Japan.
Yep. Loser leaves New Japan, and
Yeah.
Finn Balor really didn't want any interference from the Bullet Club. And during this entire year, since the Bullet Club started, that's what they do. They interfere with matches.
They were the NWO of New Japan. No rules.
They want
no honor.
They want.
Yeah, no rules, no honor.
So was that a little bit too much of them to ask Finn Balor to ask the Bucks and the rest of the Bullet Club to kind of back off? Because it's kind of like it's really Hogan-esque because the inspiration was. That's why I asked earlier, was his turn Hogan-esque because a lot of it was inspired by NWO and Hogan, and when Hogan fought Rock, he wanted the same kind of respect.
Yeah.
He didn't want the NWO. So was he wrong to ask? Because that's what they do.
No, I don't think he was wrong.
I don't think he was wrong because
Taguchi.
he wanted to face Taguchi by himself because they had a lot of bad blood against each other.
Yeah.
So he wants to be the final nail in the coffin and send them out.
Yep.
So Finn Balor asked for the respect that nobody interferes in the match, and who decides to interfere anyways?
The Young Bucks.
The Young Bucks. So Young Bucks interfere. They actually piss off Devitt.
Because he held him inside the ring, pushes him, and
They just
kick him.
go nuts. Super kick party all over Prince Devitt. And that was his exit from New Japan. He ends up losing to Taguchi. Ends up losing to Taguchi, and he's off to NXT.
Yep.
The same night.
To become the franchise of NXT.
So the same exact night.
Same exact night. Bad Luck Fale is in a match. Bad Luck Fale is in a match, and it gets an interference.
Phenomenal.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Yeah, he was always phenomenal. He was always phenomenal.
So
even if he wasn't called a phenomenal, he was still phenomenal.
AJ Styles is finally in New Japan.
And he's phenomenal.
He's coming off of being in TNA.
Which was phenomenal.
He's about a 15-year veteran at this point.
Which is a 15 glorious. Sorry.
Yeah, so
NWA champion, TNA champion, X Division champion, tag team champion.
He started out pretty young. He was in WCW within the last 2 months of its demise.
Oh yeah.
And he transitioned straight into TNA, which was like the spin-off WCW at that point.
Jeff Jarrett's.
He did do a tryout on like a Velocity or something for WWE,
Yeah,
but
sure did.
It didn't pan out.
It's good that it didn't pan out.
No, it's perfect because AJ Styles has one of those careers that's like, it's like Jericho's career. He touched every continent. He's been in every type of wrestling style. He's done it all.
He's had success.
So, he spent about 10 years in 10 years plus in TNA.
I wasn't even watching wrestling during this time, but I remember seeing AJ Styles matches, like just kind of flipping through the channels. I remember seeing it for the first time, and I was just like, who is this guy? Yeah,
he made his way from like the X Division, which was the cruiserweight division of TNA, and he really held their own against a whole bunch of stars over there. So,
remember his matches with Kurt Angle and Christopher Daniels were just out of this world.
Yeah,
Amazing Red, Low Key.
Once they started bringing in those big stars from back in the day, like Hogan and all that, they kind of gave AJ the shaft. And being one of the people that were the foundation of TNA, trying to bring it up, trying to actually be a competitor to WWE, I guess he had enough.
Yeah,
they were giving him pay cuts. They weren't really giving him his... yeah. I don't listen. You don't need to give AJ Styles a carbon copy gimmick of somebody else's.
It's AJ Styles.
Yeah. So
he debuts in New Japan Pro Wrestling as not as the Masked Man. He comes out, interferes in an Okada match, pulls it off. The announcers go crazy, and he unzips his hoodie, and it's a Bullet Club. Bullet Club. that was me doing the impression of Japanese announcers out there.
So, everybody goes wild.
Yeah.
Again, this is the same night that Finn Balor was kicked out by the Bullet Club, and he lost against Taguchi.
Yeah.
And it was a loser leaves New Japan. So the same night, Invasion Attack, April 6, 2014, AJ Styles debuts.
And
transitions directly into the Bullet Club leadership.
Yep, and his first match against Okada,
which was only about a month later.
He wins. Now you gotta understand, like, Okada's not a transitional champion. Okada in this point, he's probably like
you said
no. He's in the beginning of one of like the greatest IWGP heavyweight reigns ever. He's in the middle of one of these right now. So that's like, it's a big deal for Okada to lose. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know, like, kind of like in the WWE, the World Heavyweight Champion, it's a big deal, but to lose it in New Japan, it's a really, really big deal to lose. And to come in like that and to win like that, that was like unheard of. That's how you knew AJ Styles, immediate star. Like,
so I've heard you say like Tanahashi was the John Cena of New Japan.
Yeah.
Who would you consider Okada to be? Because Okada was one of, if not the biggest IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. That's why AJ Styles beating him for this title was so significant. Not only that, this was the first time the IWGP Heavyweight Championship was in the Bullet Club.
Yeah, this is true. Because Prince Devitt, he failed to get the heavyweight title.
And we're not even factoring Shinsuke Nakamura.
What do you mean?
at all. Like
that he's in this world. That he's in this world at the time. Yeah, during this time, Shinsuke Nakamura is in New Japan. I think he's the Intercontinental Champion during this time. And Shinsuke Nakamura is you want to talk about a heel. You want to talk about a heel with just like how he is now, but just times 100. He was just Shinsuke Nakamura was vicious. That's why he got the name the King of Strong Style. Because when he hit you with that King Shaza, when he brought that King Shaza, see, we need like the Goku, like the command. We need something like that, like to Fire Flame soundbite or something like that. To
I feel that.
that would have sounded.
I feel that.
Like if we had like a soundbite after that, that would really fucking
Just like
impact.
a final flash.
We
Or
need like a
something,
nap,
you know?
like a super kick. That's what that was.
We gotta put it on the list.
Yeah.
So
Oh, speaking of the list, we're gonna do that next show. Sorry, we're gonna do that for a second. Somebody go on the list next segment. Next show. Next show. Somebody go on the list next show.
I feel that.
the list of kayfabe.
The list of kayfabe. Yeah.
But so under this new reign, this new leadership, AJ Styles, we have a few new recruits. Bullet Club's always recruited.
Yeah.
So we have Yujiro. We have
Okay, hold up. I'm glad you said that. Just rewind just a little bit. So that night, was it that night that Yujiro? Yeah, that night Yujiro turned on Okada, and Yujiro was a member of Chaos. And he was the first Japanese Bullet Club member.
That was a big deal.
That was a very big deal.
Because he's a Japanese guy in a Gaijin stable.
Yeah, he was the first Japanese guy in the foreign stable, so that was a big deal.
so after Yujiro, we get Kenny Omega.
Who was one of the most important members of the Bullet Club.
He becomes the cleaner.
The cleaner. Because they didn't have a junior heavyweight because Prince Devitt was the junior heavyweight. And they had everybody, they had like every other weight class, but they didn't have a junior heavyweight.
And this is the start of when we see all the Terminator, gimmicks and little things he does. The thing with the crowd, the rise of the Terminator, all this starts coming out. He's with the jacket, the glasses, the 80s style hair.
Yeah.
You know?
He's still trying to come into himself at this time. This is not
This is the rise. This is the rise of Kenny Omega.
Yeah, this isn't the best bout machine yet.
So we got Cody Hall and we get Chase Owens, and those are the 4 recruits we got on the AJ Styles run, along with the other members, minus the Good Brothers, Lou Gallows and Carl Anderson, which same night AJ Styles left.
Yeah.
Yep. They left the same night, but they also jumped them.
So AJ Styles' last one-on-one match was against Shinsuke Nakamura at WrestleMania, at Wrestle Kingdom 10.
Oh,
Wrestle
wow.
Kingdom 10 is equivalent to WrestleMania, and he lost to Shinsuke Nakamura. And the next night at New Year's Dash was equivalent to the Raw after Mania. It was AJ Styles and Kenny Omega versus Shinsuke Nakamura and somebody else. They actually won the match.
Yep.
And AJ Styles gets on the second rope celebrating. Kenny Omega comes under him. Whoop. One Wing Angel. Boom. Now this night, they started calling. Kenny Omega jumped on the mic. They obviously kicked AJ Styles out. And he said he was starving me. He said, well, starving is junior
So
heavyweight.
wait, before we get into that, let's rewind a little bit, because under the AJ Styles run there were quite a few accomplishments as well.
Oh yeah, I definitely
And,
go over AJ
you
Styles
know,
run like it wasn't nothing because
After the Okada win, the rest of the club picked up a few good victories themselves. The Bucks became the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions. The Fale defeated Shinsuke, which
For
we
the
just spoke about was
Intercontinental Championship.
huge over there. Yujiro won the never open weight title, which at that point made the Bullet Club have every single heavyweight title in New Japan. So that's a big accomplishment in its own for any stable.
it's a huge accomplishment, especially in New Japan.
They had the power.
Before Omega transitioned into the leader after AJ, he did win at the junior heavyweight title at Wrestle Kingdom 9. Gallows and Anderson won their had a second reign. AJ Styles also picked up 2 reigns as NWGP Heavyweight Champion, and Omega also had a second reign of the Junior Heavyweight title, as well as the Bucks picking up another New Japan Junior Heavyweight Tag Team championships.
Yeah, a lot of gold. A lot of gold.
Yeah, so a lot of stuff happened during the AJ Styles run, but the cleaner was definitely coming out of his own, like we said.
Yeah.
And he was slowly transitioning to that spot because once again,
AJ out, that's when he became a heavyweight.
once again, WWE comes knocking on the door. AJ Styles becomes the hottest free agent.
Got the note under the door from
The
each.
beat
And
on the Royal Rumble.
He's number what number was he in?
I think it was 3.
Number 3 in the Royal Rumble.
If you really want to pay tree, you can enter at number 3. H. That was we didn't see that. We didn't see AJ get that letter, but that was a letter.
That's exactly what happened.
That's exactly what happened. That's what happened. And they said the same thing basically.
He goes about 40 something minutes, maybe 50 something minutes in the Royal Rumble. It was a great debut.
Yeah.
It was the WWE Championship.
Gallows and Anderson are with him in WWE at this point, but before he got to enjoy his little shine in the Royal Rumble, the Bullet Club turns on their leader again, right?
Yeah.
Kenny Omega, the Bucks, they turn on AJ Styles.
Yeah.
So similar to Finn Balor's exit in the WWE, he left with his own teammates turning their back on him and once again shipping them out back to WWE.
Yep. And that's when that night, that's when Kenny Omega hopped on the mic and dubbed themselves the Elite. And ironic, how ironic this was. The entire Bullet Club was in the ring. And I specifically remember Tama Tonga staring in the background as Kenny Omega saying that the Elite, and that was like the first time he did that pose with, like the Young Bucks, like doing the flex and doing the and it was Elite, and that's when he said that they were Elite, and you just see Tama Tonga looking, and you can see like there was like a separation there, but just that little subtlety, all the way back then. This is 2016, so just remember that.
So when when Omega pronounced him and the Young Bucks as the Elite, he basically started that with the Young Bucks to create something out of Bullet Club, as New Japan basically forced him and the Bucks to be part of the Bullet Club. And he felt that whenever somebody said, oh, the Bullet Club is doing good and they're having great matches, it was actually just him and the Bucks and not the other members.
Wow.
Yeah, this kind of splinters the
That's where it
Bullet Club.
starts.
It splinters the Bullet Club, and this is when you really start seeing the little factions in the Bullet Club: the Guerrillas of Destiny, the Elite. We have all these people coming in to the Bullet Club on the Omega's run. We have the Tongaloa, the Hangman, Adam Page. We have Adam Cole join.
Baby.
We get Bone Soldier. We get Cody. We get Stephen Amell. We get Cass for a small amount of time. We get
some of the most important members of the Bullet Club under Omega's reign.
We get the Bullet Club that
gravitated
to everyone who wasn't really watching New Japan.
We gotta start talking about. We have to start this new recruits of under Kenny Omega by talking about Adam Cole, baby, because he did it differently. With the ring of with having like the
Focus says Adam Cole should be added to the list of leaders. Why do you think that?
I feel that Adam Cole should be added to the list of leaders because he was basically the voice in Ring of Honor. He played the leadership role. He won the World Heavyweight Championship of the Ring of Honor. So I feel that he he showed leadership during that time to him and the Bucks, and he actually tried to fire the Bucks in an episode of Ring of Honor.
He tried to fire the Bucks.
Yeah, and that's what started the ascension and him and Bullet
I
Club.
mean, I kind of see where you're coming from because
But before
it took a while
hold
for
up.
Omega to get that heavyweight title.
when he debuted, when Adam Cole debuted for the Bullet Club, they put on the longest super kick party. If you haven't seen this, it's hilarious.
It's 16 minutes.
Of super kicks.
I believe it's like 250 super kicks that was thrown.
They just super kicked everybody. Announcers, refs, wrestlers, Papa Buck, everybody. Cameraman, everybody gets super kicked. And that was the debut of Adam Cole, baby, in the Bullet Club. And yeah, he tried to fire the Bucks, man. I don't know what he was thinking, because you know what, Adam Cole, baby, thought he was. I just can't say it without baby after. I'm sorry. He thought that he was the leader of the Bullet Club.
He thought he.
I mean, Ring of Honor version
He
probably was.
probably was.
Yeah.
You can actually say that because the Bucks have been at this point. The Bucks have been there for a long time.
Yes.
And they've never like stepped into the position where they say, "Hey, no, we're the leaders," or one of us are the leader of the group.
And Kenny's always in New Japan.
Yeah.
And
it was,
sadly,
through the Titantron.
you know, with this splinter in the group, people are not even thinking about Tama Tonga at this point, which makes him the longest member of the group at this point.
Yeah, Tonga and Tonga Low, yeah, because everybody's left and went to WWE. That was the original members. Yeah, you're right. At this time, nobody's thinking about the Gorillas of Destiny at this point. Just keep that in mind.
They basically got the put on the back burner.
To all the
Yujiro, Chase Owens,
Yeah.
while the Elite continue to shine.
And then during this time, they actually start being the Elite show.
Yeah.
Which actually became one of the best ways to keep up with Ring of Honor and New Japan.
Yeah.
They have stars from both promotions, co-starring or doing cameos in the show, and honestly, all the storylines eventually started flowing through being the lead. Almost every pay-per-view, almost every match leading into New Japan's pay-per-views, Ring of Honor's pay-per-views, you can see everything through being the lead.
Yeah.
So Cody comes in and starts being a little prominent.
Oh wait, hold on.
Adam Cole
gets
kicked out.
When Adam Cole gets kicked out, we introduce the villain, Marty Scurll.
Scurll.
Whoop whoop.
Too sweet.
Yeah. Me and Focus were there the night that Marty Scurll joined.
Yeah, talk about that. Y'all were there? Oh
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Honestly, I've been in the arenas and I've been in the small little venues, and honestly, it was the Hammerstein at Ring of Honor versus New Japan War of the Worlds.
Yep.
And honestly, the crowd was crazy.
Yeah.
When Marty pulled out and started his thing with the umbrella and posed, everybody was going nuts. Like the Bucks had had one of the craziest matches there. Like it was a cool night.
Yeah, and then just of course, like everybody else, the reason why Adam Cole, baby, had to come, he heard that.
He heard that knock.
You know,
he said, "Hey."
He had that letter from H slip under his door.
He said, "Hey, if you want to live forever," he said, "if you want to live forever, you'll come and be an undisputed era."
Oh, that was a good one.
That was the one we didn't see. We didn't see that letter. We didn't see that one signed by H. You naughty H. We see like a little bit of a trend here. We're starting to see just a little bit of a trend here.
But unfortunately, before he made his WWE debut, he got killed on being the Elite.
He did get killed on being the Elite. Oh.
He died. So
rest in peace, Adam Cole.
They killed Adam Cole being the Elite.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Oh my god.
Oh, Kayfabe? Oh,
they
sorry.
killed Adam Cole. So.
Maybe one day there was right.
And then
So we have zombie Adam Cole.
We have zombie
NXT.
Adam Cole in NXT. He's taking over
Yeah.
the Undisputed Era.
Yeah. This is really zombie Adam Cole that we're
So once Cole left to the NXT, and
The ghost of
I think this is when Cody really started shining as part of the Elite and part of the Bullet Club.
Yeah.
Cody basically took.
They were still very much Bullet Club though. At this that's why it was very specific. The Bucks and Kenny were the Elite. Everybody else was just Bullet Club.
And then Cody basically was trying to fill up Adam Cole's shoes
And
since
he came into his own
came into his own, became the world championship.
Ring of Honor.
You know, he recently captured the NWA championship.
Yeah.
Well, Cody brought a lot to the table joining the Elite and joining Bullet Club.
Absolutely.
Because he's the son of Dusty Rhodes. His
brought a lot of
brother's
eyes.
Gold Dust. He's been behind the scenes all his life. He knows the mind of a booker.
Intercontinental champion.
He had accolades coming in.
Yeah, WrestleMania.
I think when
brought a
he
lot
joined Bullet Club, it was
eyes.
more of a I'm tired of what was going on in WWE. The Stardust gimmick. Although he does say that he was enjoying it a little bit, he had fun. It wasn't going the direction he hoped. So probably
Cody Rhodes could have been the world heavyweight title picture.
Yeah, he could have been right. He could have transitioned straight after this figure, Cody Rhodes, straight into a title picture.
I really love that. I love that. Gimmick.
I think they dropped the ball as far as not letting him get to that point, but
it's okay. It's better that
I'll touch more about that when we start wrapping where the club
even
is at.
Before Cody came to the Bullet Club, he was really out on the independent scene having a lot of good matches with Kurt Angle.
Yeah, he was.
Drew Gallows.
Oh yeah,
Rey
he
Mysterio
went to
Jr.
Impact. He dabbled everywhere
Did he go
before
to
he
Impact?
yeah.
I was
Came out with the brown jacket with
I
the
was watching the wrestling. I just wasn't watching.
yeah. I
was
mean,
watching WWE.
Impact was a little hard to watch at that time, especially when they lost Matt and Jeff and the Broken Universe gimmick and all of that. But
All that legal stuff.
yes,
But they got deleted.
but they knew Cody come. But
Oh, Cody.
he went to almost every promotion and decided on Ring of Honor, became the Ring of Honor World Champion, and definitely held his own. But I think he pushed more than anybody in the club. Period. He gave them the ambition to reach for more and put themselves in a position to be looked at. As stars to be respected.
I remember interviews.
And the same way Adam Cole should be recognized as a leader of one of the club, like Focus says, I think Cody should be looked at as a leader as well.
Yeah. No, absolutely. No, I mean, they were kind
definitely.
of fighting over leadership. I mean, him and Omega were fighting over leadership for a while. But
They definitely had that love-hate relationship.
Yeah.
And usually the leadership or the title came in between Cody. They still have that going, and we just had that match with him, Ibushi, and Omega for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship.
That was a really good three. That was only the second time the IWGP Heavyweight title has been defended in a three-way. Only the second time.
So now at this point, the club is kind of splintered. The Elite are kind of focusing on themselves. The Elite being Omega, the Bucks.
During the time, there's no tension during the time.
There was no tension, but they were kind of focusing on themselves
Yeah, there was a clear separation.
as the Elite, not Bullet Club.
Yeah, absolutely. There was definitely a clear
They get the Hot Topic deals. They start marketing themselves outside of the Bullet Club.
And I feel like that's what also Cody really helped bring in. You know what I'm saying? The young
Trying to reach out to other brands.
He expanded the Bullet Club. That's what Cody did for me. To me for the Bullet Club. He expanded the Bullet Club with the Hot Topic stuff. Him being the WWE guy coming into the Bullet Club, that's just immediately more eyes on it. Just being kind of different. He's the only guy in the Bullet Club wearing suits. Just everything about him was
he brought
different.
He brought the old school feel back, literally.
He's a traditional.
Because, I still a member of the Bullet Club. There's, the Elite, and they're still together. Cody brought in the NWA Championship. He brought back NWA as a promotion. People wouldn't even be hearing about NWA in 2018 if it wasn't for Cody. Yeah, there's a few legends there.
Nick Aldis.
You know, Jazz is the women's champion there, but
for the most
part, if it wasn't for Cody
If it
and the
wasn't-
Bullet
if it
Club
wasn't
attention,
for All In, then no, we wouldn't have heard about it. But
All
that-
In
but
being
that's just a testament to
All In being the pay-per-view that was formulated by the Bucks and Cody.
We are jumping a little bit ahead. Let's rewind it. Let's rewind it. Just a little bit. So Cody's in the Bullet Club, and there is a match. There is a match with Okada, and Kenny Omega's trying to go after the IWGP Heavyweight title, and I think this is their second match. And Cody's trying to come down to the ring and throwing the towel for Omega, and that started to cause a little dissension between Cody and Omega, because it's like, yo, why are you trying to throw the towel? You know what I'm saying? And Cody started to say that he was the leader of the Bullet Club, but then Omega was the leader of the Bullet Club, and still during this entire time, Tama Tonga and them were just still sitting on the side, really not even being mentioned.
Honestly, they
Nothing.
weren't even in the picture.
Nothing.
They weren't even really doing anything, much of anything.
Still just sitting on the side. Nah, they were having matches and stuff like that.
They were
Yeah,
getting
but-
titles here and there.
Yeah, but it just wasn't.
It wasn't prominent though. They weren't the headline.
Nope.
They weren't in any headlines.
And then
Let's be honest.
And then eventually we started to have infighting in the Bullet Club with the Elite, almost versus Adam Page, Marty Scurll, and Cody. And then that eventually got settled, and that only got settled after. Was it the night that I remember it was a G1 special? Was it the night that Cody and Kenny had that match?
I believe so.
Yeah, it was the night that Cody and Kenny had a match, and the OGs came out, and we thought it was a big celebration.
It ended up to be a huge massacre.
Yeah, it ended up being a huge massacre, and it's crazy. 'Cause
Yeah, the tension between Tonga, the OGs, the Fire Club, or whatever they call themselves at this point, the real Bullet Club.
Yeah,
It's been building at this point for a couple of months.
Yeah, I remember it was Kenny Omega's first IWGP Heavyweight title defense because he beat it from Okada in a 2 out of 3 fall 7-star rated match, 75 minutes, crazy. That was his first title defense in California at the G1. He beat Cody, and they all went up the ramp. The OGs came out. Tama Tonga, Tonga Low, and Haku came out, and they just destroyed the Bullet Club.
Well, you know,
They destroyed you.
let's pause it right there at Tama Tonga and the OGs coming back. Let's kind of rewind a bit. The Bullet Club was at this point known for a lot of infighting and leaders getting kicked out, and Cody tried to vie for the leadership.
Yeah.
Actually did try to go for the leadership against Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
And Omega was on the outs a little bit. He was still the leader, but he was kind of on the outs
That's when he was going through
with the Bucks, and they actually pulled through. I think the Elite branding off, I think they changed the stigma of the leaders getting beat up and kicked out.
They changed everything. What Kenny really changed like everything about the Bullet Club. Like they didn't really, and they became faces. Even though people say, "Oh, there's no such thing as faces and heels." Before with AJ, and the difference with AJ and Devitt's run, they were definitely more. They were twins, but they were more heels. They were interfering with each other's matches. They were cheating. Omega, he started
Making it,
He
they
started
kind of,
doing face tactics.
yeah, and he was.
but still maintaining like that aggressive fighting style. Because
Honestly, he didn't really need interference. That's why in Omega matches, he's taking you to V Trigger City. You didn't really.
and it's this point where Kenny's in the best point of his career.
Yeah,
He's no longer up and coming. He's no longer the cleaner.
He's the best bout machine.
He's the best bout machine. And
PW Insider's #1 wrestler.
so
Multiple 5 stars and above matches.
the Elite, again, changed the stigma of the leaders getting kicked out. And fast forwarding back now, we have the OGs trying to gain that old school Bullet Club feel. And kind of right the ship,
Yeah,
kind of
because the Bullet
patch
Club's
up the
definitely-
cracks in Bullet Club,
definitely
but
different.
they, he's straight up saying it. You guys are not Bullet Club anymore,
And
I
agree.
agree with
Yeah.
I agree with his sentiment because they're branding off as the elite. They really don't represent what the Bullet Club was,
They
Not
don't.
at all.
at that time,
They
and
don't.
now, so elite. Let's just say elite is spinned off at this point. They're at, at this point in time, they're saying that they're not gonna make any more Bullet Club shirts. There's hints of them going to the WWE. That knock, once again, that knock is on the door. Triple H is calling. Literal H letters are getting slipped on the
Yeah.
Omega's door on being the elite.
So there has been a lot of little clues that may have been hinting for the elite to go. Cody starts calling himself Cody Rhodes. Marty Scurll, who still has another year on his contract of Ring of Honor, starts changing from Villain Club to Villain Enterprises. The WWE did reach out to Adam Cole. Not Adam Cole, to Adam Page. They really did try.
Hangman, and Hangman denied them.
He denied him, but he said he would come if he can bring his crew with him.
And
his crew
the
is
elite
Kenny Omega.
are literally saying that whatever decisions they make going forward,
Are gonna be
they're
in the
gonna
group.
be together as a group. So elite is no longer Bullet Club. The new leader of Bullet Club is Tama Tonga, and Tama Tonga at this point he wants to recruit heavy. He's firing at shots at the elite left and right. He's on Twitter. He's gaining a lot of presence online.
He's
and
interfering in matches, getting suspended.
He damn near ruined the G1.
How do you say?
The Bullet Club damn near ruined the
Mad
They
interruptions.
interrupted so many matches. Like almost all their matches.
But
ended
that's
in
what they
disqualification.
do. That's going back to him bringing it to the essence of what Bullet Club is.
You know,
Exactly,
so-
because they use those tactics and it's effective.
So
They actually won the 3-man tag team championships from the Young Bucks.
Yep. And then recently they beat them for the IPWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Championship.
So
the Guerrillas of Destiny got the Young Bucks.
even though he was still Bullet Club and even though Elite was kind of doing their own thing, he kind of recruited a few people, and the state of the Bullet Club is now,
a lot different now.
yeah, it's a lot different. We have Hikuleo, Gino Gambino, Ishimari, Bone Soldier, Gino, Jay White. So we have
We don't have Gambino. We got the Bone Soldier, Gato,
Jay White.
Jay White.
So the club is looking a lot different.
Yeah, it can actually be a civil war now because before the elite outnumbered the Bullet Club a lot. You know what I'm saying, the firing squad. So now
So now with those guys versus the elite, the current state of the club is basically those two factions,
Basically.
right?
yeah.
And you never know, since Bullet Club is registered by New Japan, the Elite isn't. The Elite is owned by the Young Bucks. You never know, them getting kicked out of the Bullet Club may be early sign of them leaving.
Yeah.
And the funny thing, they're already alluding to the knock from WWE. They already alluded to Triple H reaching out to them. They've been saying straight up the next decision is going to be as a group. They have a countdown on being the elite that leads to the end of their contracts. And I've been saying it for weeks. I don't think the elite is going to put that kind of countdown just to say, oh, hey, we're staying in Ring of Honor. We're staying in New Japan. We're going to do the same business we've been doing for the past year or two or, plus. They're alluding to WWE. If they're not alluding to WWE, they're alluding to their own brand, maybe an all-in brand or something like that, where they're the bookers. That's the only two places they can go. Coming from All In and everything they did with that pay-per-view, Vince sees you now. They see the star power. So it can only be those two options in my mind going forward. As far as what's next for the actual club, it's all on Tonga. It's all on Jay White, the Switchblade. It's
They're setting them up because I mean Switchblade. Look, they've been building Switchblade up. This is the greatness of New Japan Pro Wrestling. You know they have MCU
And
like storytelling. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying.
And the thing is,
building Jay White.
they want to go back to the essence. They want to go back.
And you're looking at the real rock and roller.
That's
They
what
want to
they're
go
building Jay
back
White
to
up
the
Yeah.
gun gestures. They want to go back to the dirty tactics. You know, they want to run roughshod over New Japan.
They want Bullet Club to be lethal, not the cute, being the elite type of things where everybody just laughs at them. They want to take something serious and dangerous.
What's funny is the elite style now fits perfectly in the WWE PG system. Everything they're doing in being the elite, that's promo work. That's exactly what WWE is looking for.
I wouldn't necessarily say that. They're
They
a
don't-
little more
they go-
They're
go-
a little more adult orientated than for the PG.
For the elements that probably include like a Joey Ryan, yeah, but their jokes are all PG, bro.
yeah,
For the most part.
yeah.
They're already.
Their style is a little more.
They
I think
It's
Cody
a strong
Cody
style.
was a sleeper. I feel like Cody was a sleeper.
Cody is a classic wrestler.
You know,
Modern
in a
day.
few years from now, if the elite really joins WWE, mark my words, they're gonna have conspiracy theorists saying that Cody was planted by the WWE to break up the club and pull the club in. Same thing they said for like Vince Russo getting planted in WCW
I
to
believe it.
crush the
No.
WCW. Similar to that.
I believe it.
I think I really, you know, I don't know if I really want the elite to go to WWE, and it's only because we see what they do with their character. We see the difference between the real rock and roller and Finn.
Alright,
I'm
so
not a Finn Balor mark. And
with the
was-
three, let's keep it to three leaders, three different eras of Bullet Club. But outside of the actual leaders, who do you think has made the most impact just being a member of the club?
The Bucks.
Whether it be the elite, anybody,
It'd have to be the Bucks.
the Bucks.
They elevated the Bullet Club name brand to a whole nother level. They have Hot Topic deals because of the Young Bucks. They're all over YouTube.
You know what? I credit them a lot. I definitely would agree saying the Bucks, because just wearing a Bullet Club shirt, it's like 1990s all over again. You wear an NWO shirt, people coming up to you, too sweet in you. They brought the community back in wrestling.
They definitely did. It's
Plus-
basically almost at a cult status.
I'm gonna go ahead and say the most important member joining is Cody.
Cody, you think Cody did the most
Cody
impact?
was best
Yeah.
for business. Cody, I think, also like he brought that, like the Young Bucks had it, but Cody was the one that just pushed it over the edge, that popped that bubble, that led to all these deals, that led to All In. You know what I'm saying? Like they were like Cody was like the missing piece. Like the Young Bucks were like they were missing something, and Cody was that something that they were missing. I feel like the Bullet Club has never been hotter than they've been now. I'm not just giving that solely to Cody, but he really helped him being a former WWE guy, bringing in a lot more eyes, and then him and the Bucks coming to, you know what I'm saying, their business mind together, best for business.
Okay,
Definitely
so
a networker.
with that being said,
Who's the best leader?
who is the best leader of the Bullet Club? Accomplishments, everything, the full package. Who do you think was the best, most influential leader of the Bullet Club?
The best leader would probably have to be, I would say, AJ Styles, because when he came in, he took it to another level. He brought a whole bunch of people in, and it made it cool again.
I would say the best leader of the Bullet Club is Kenny Omega. because he started the Elite, and a lot of the reasons why people are Bullet Club fans, but they're really Elite fans.
That is true.
And I feel like what they've done, what he's done individually with the Young Bucks, I feel like individually, what they've all done under his reign has just been the Young Bucks finally moving up to the heavyweight division. All in. Cody being the NWA World Champion, United States Champion, Ring of Honor 6-man champion simultaneously. 3 belts, 2 companies. Like, him winning the IWGP champion, and what some people call him the greatest match of all time, 7-star match, 75 minutes.
Honestly,
Hangman Page coming as a break. Everybody's saying.
I feel
the
like
next
it's a
man
shame
is
that we
Hangman
will
Page.
have to be forced to keep the leaders down to the 3 prominent, because my choice would have been Cody.
Yeah.
But
He's
because
such an important
I can't pick Omega. I can't pick Omega as the best leader for the simple fact, with the dissension between them, him having the Golden Lovers, making the Golden Elite, that whole time Cody was focused the whole time on the club, on Bullet Club, on the Elite, what they were doing.
Bullet Club is fine.
So yeah, they had the whole Bullet Club is fine.
Bullet Club is fine.
You know, so it was great storytelling and everything, but I can't give it to Omega because I feel like Omega, once he became the Elite, he was like, these are my friends, we're gonna have fun, but I'm gonna focus on me,
I feel like
not the club.
I feel like he was focused on the Elite. And
No.
Nah, he wasn't.
I
even
don't. I
focused
feel
on the Elite.
he
'Cause
went from the
in
junior
New
heavyweight.
Japan.
He went from the junior
He was in New
heavyweight
Japan,
division.
and
but every
they
time
was
he had
in
a
Ring
big
of Honor.
match, who came out to the ring with him though?
It
always
was
the Bucks.
It was always the Bucks, but
That's what I'm saying. Like,
but was he out there when the Bucks was having tag team matches all the time?
No, but that wasn't there. That's kind of weird though.
No, stables come out with each other.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but
I've seen Cody pop out on more Buck matches than Omega has.
that was kind of their thing though. But I feel like Kenny Omega was the leader of the Bullet Club, but he only cared about the Elite. He only really showed love to the Elite. You know what I'm saying?
So I would have to disqualify.
So
Omega.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. The reason why I put Omega up there is because all these things have happened while he was the leader. Like now, I don't consider him the leader now because I don't even consider them. They're not really they are the Elite
Nope.
now. That's what they are. They are the Elite.
No longer Bullet
And Tama
Club.
So,
Tonga and them,
my
they are the
choice-
Bullet Club.
Will have to be Prince Devitt, Finn Balor.
The OG.
Yep.
The OG,
My reason.
the real rock and
My reason
roller.
being
We're doing-
because of
we're
Finn
doing finger
Balor.
triggers for podcast listeners.
Because of Finn Balor, the Bullet Club has literally touched every promotion.
Yep.
There's still a club. It's not the Bullet Club, but there's still a Balor Club. There was the club. Him, Gallows joined in WWE.
The Styles Club. Hashtag beat up.
He started something that outlasted his run in the company he was in.
Yeah.
There were no versions of DX without Triple H. There were no versions of NWO, the real NWO, without Hall and Nash. So, you know, I feel like it's going back to what Finn Balor started as the original model of the club, with Jay White now in it, and you know they're going back to the gun gestures, and they're actually going back to the tactics. I feel like Finn Balor's imprint is still in New Japan
basically
Bullet Club.
I feel like they're trying to resurrect the spirit of Prince Devitt through Jay White, who this year has beat Tanahashi, Okada, and Kenny Omega. That is beating the
So
biggest,
with the history of leaders getting kicked out, and do you see Jay White kicking someone out eventually?
I don't maybe, but I
Usually
They
those
already
kickouts
did.
happen when happens
They
from
already
Triple H.
did. The Elite is not part of Bullet
But I don't
Club.
think that
They're
really-
imposters.
No, I'm saying Jay White.
Oh.
He's saying he sees Jay White in the kind of Finn Balor role getting placed there. So
Yeah.
do you think he will eventually?
not anytime soon, because right now it's the Bullet Club Civil War right now. You know what I'm saying? Right now, we're it's really a Bullet Club Civil War. I hope somewhere soon.
Damn. So at the end of all this, we still didn't agree on who's the best Bullet Club.
Oh yeah,
No.
he thinks you think it's Prince Devitt. He thinks it's AJ. I think it's Kenny.
So-
that's just it. That's what we think.
Well, I
You're
guess-
not gonna convince me other.
No.
Not really. No.
No, it's not gonna happen.
Well, I guess it's up to
yeah, I
interpretation.
don't wanna.
We'll let the fans decide on that. And you want to take us home, or should we let Kenny do it?
Yeah, as much as we would love to sit here and talk to you on Kayfabe Avenue, we must bid you a farewell.
Yeah.
Goodbye and good night.
Good